Hey there, Lacey here with the Sweet Pea Chef, and school's out, it's getting hot outside, which means our family starts to turn to frozen sweet treats. Believe it or not, there's a ton of ways that you can make frozen treats at home without using an ice cream maker that your whole family will love. Today, let me show you 4 of my favorite frozen sweet treats, from ice creams to frozen yogurts to sorbets. So let's get started. First, we're gonna make ice cream using just 2 ingredients, bananas and chocolate. You're not gonna believe how creamy and rich and delicious this ice cream is. Plus, it's good for you. Start with ripe but overly mushy bananas. The riper they are, the sweeter they'll be. We'll need to freeze the bananas, so slice them approximately into 1/4 inch slices, and then place them onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, allowing the slices a little bit of space in between so they don't touch. Transfer these into the freezer and freeze for at least 3 to 4 hours to allow to fully harden. Place those frozen banana slices into the bowl of a food processor or a heavy-duty blender, and process the banana, scraping the sides of the food processor as needed. After a few minutes, the mixture will resemble soft serve ice cream. Now add dark cocoa powder and blend again. You may need to use a spatula to help it along at this time. While you could enjoy this ice cream right away, you can also transfer it into a freezer-safe container to get it a little bit harder. Hard to believe this 2-ingredient ice cream is so sweet, rich, and creamy, and actually good for you. Next, how about we make some cantaloupe sorbet using just 4 ingredients and no ice cream maker. To prepare the cantaloupe, first slice in half through the stem and remove all the seeds with a spoon. Lay the flat side down and slice into wedges. This will make it easier to remove the peel. Dice into small bite-sized pieces and then place the cubed cantaloupe onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, leaving space in between the cubes to allow for even freezing and not touching. Place the tray into the freezer and freeze the cantaloupe overnight or until completely frozen, about 4 to 6 hours. Now place the frozen cantaloupe into the bowl of a food processor and pulse until the cantaloupe becomes crumbly. Add the lemon juice, raw honey, and water at this time, and then pulse again. You may need to add more water until the mixture becomes more fluid, but not slushy. You can also taste it this time to see if you need to add any more honey for additional sweetness. You can serve immediately or store in the freezer in an airtight container. Now you have a refreshing, sweet, and easy cantaloupe sorbet to enjoy this summer. Okay, so I think you're gonna love this next recipe. We're gonna be making a super easy fresh peach frozen yogurt using just 4 ingredients, including fresh peaches. First, we need to slice the peaches in half and remove the pit. Then slice the peach halves into even slices and then place them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Place the peach slices into the freezer and freeze overnight or for at least 4 to 5 hours. Then add the frozen peaches to the food processor and process until they become evenly crumbly but not pureed. Add in the raw honey, plain Greek yogurt, and freshly squeezed lemon juice into the food processor and process again until a smooth, creamy consistency appears, about 2 to 4 minutes. You may need to scrape down the sides once or twice along the way. For any of these recipes, if you don't have a food processor, you can also use a heavy-duty kitchen blender. Once everything is smooth, you can taste and see if you need to add any additional honey to make it sweeter. You can serve this immediately, or you can transfer to a freezer-safe container and freeze for about an hour to harden. It's hard to believe that you can make a 4-ingredient frozen yogurt that tastes this good and without an ice cream maker. Finally, let's make a super delicious lemon blueberry sorbet using just a few simple ingredients. Pour rinsed blueberries out onto a rimmed baking sheet lined with parchment paper and separate them as much as possible. You may need to remove some of the stems from a few of the blueberries. Place the blueberries into the freezer and freeze overnight or for at least 4 to 5 hours to get them fully frozen. When ready to make the sorbet, add the frozen blueberries to a bowl of a food processor, followed by the raw honey, fresh lemon zest, freshly squeezed lemon juice, and the water. Process the mixture until the blueberries become crumbly, pressing down the mixture with a spatula as needed. Continue to process until the mixture becomes more smooth and evenly processed. Once everything's smooth, taste again for additional sweetness, and if you need any, just add a little bit of raw honey. Just like with our other recipes, you can enjoy immediately or you can transfer to the freezer for about an hour or 2 to harden a little bit more. Not only is this lemon blueberry sorbet super yummy and really easy to make, it's also full of antioxidants and fiber and contains no refined sugars. All right, so now you have 4 easy, delicious frozen sweet treats to enjoy this summer. These frozen yogurts and ice creams and sorbets are a big old hit in our family, and I know they'll be in yours too. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these 4 recipes this summer, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss our new weekly recipe videos. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.